Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are beginning a new month, and we need to thank God for the month that has just ended, for His blessings, the gift of life, the gift of health, and everything that is done to us. I also want to thank you for your continued and unwavering support up to this moment. And there are two things that I captured that are happening as we begin this month. One, students and pupils are closing. Most of them have either closed schools or closing this week. And so we also want to thank God for the happy stay during the period that they were in school. And even as they travel back home from school, we pray for the journey mercies. It is always very hectic, especially when there is that rush hour. And we plead with our drivers to be very keen on the road. And we also pray that they stay well for this holiday up to the time that they will open again. You wonder why I keep on saying God, God, God. Your guess is as good as mine. We have cabinet vetting that is also ongoing for, I think, between today, Kithure Kindiki was on the his neck was on the chopping board, Alice Wahome, up to Sunday, I think. And we also need to also look at that very, very closely because it is a major event. So we want to follow that together as we compare and share notes. Sometimes I like what is happening in the channel. Sometimes I analyze something and then there are people coming up with other angles that I didn't even see. So in the process, believe you me, I also learn. No one has got the monopoly of knowledge. And sometimes some people even call me and tell me, the angle in which you looked at it is not the way. So we will share together, and I just want to thank you so very much for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, Azimio coalition is on its way to its deathbed. It is facing a political annihilation. It's inevitable. And this is because Azimio was formed to win the 2022 election, and that did not happen. And so it's very difficult for it to stay together. And the political events that have taken place of recent have really exposed Raila Odinga. And there are divided opinions. We have sung that song in this channel. And Raila has, most of the Azimio principles are saying that Raila has been goofing. Ever since he nominated or allowed the 4 members of the ODM to join the government, they're saying that he's been slippery and they don't know his stand. At some point, he said dialogue is the only way. When they signed the IEBC deal, the Independence and Boundaries Commission bill that paved way for the appointment of new commissioners, new IBC commissioners. He said dialogue is the only way. And then at some point when he went to meet the you remember when he was in Mukuru, I think, where those bodies were found, Raila said this is a rotten government and we will have no dialogue. So people are saying we don't know where he stands, his position, but we can always read between the lines. After he released 4 of his members to join the government, we know that he's in this government. Now, while we have always said that joining the government is not bad, I wonder why Raila is trying to hide it. He is trying to defend it because he is telling us that they do not have an official working relationship between ODM and UDA. And in a way, he's trying to tell us that Joho Oparanya, Opio and John Mbadi went there in their own individual capacities, that there was no working formula. But then, ladies and gentlemen, let's face the reality. There is no way a party, that is the top brass. We have 2 deputy party leaders, the minority leader, and the chairman. Leaving the party just like that on their own is not very easy. So today, that was yesterday, I think, they had a meeting, the Azimio Summit. And I think this was coming for the first time after Raila released those 4 members to join the government. It was also happening for the first time after Raila officially submitted his documents to join the African Union Commission. So there are things that were at stake that the summit wanted to ask Raila Amolo Odinga. And the principals or the members of the summit were really looking for answers from Raila Amolo Odinga. And in that meeting, they pressed Raila to explain what exactly happened because they don't know. Is it Raila who gave William Ruto the 4 members, or did they go on their own? So Raila still maintains that those people went there on their own. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to this speech.
There's a famous photo which is doing rounds on social media. The Honorable Raila Odinga, who is our party leader for Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition, convened a meeting of the summit. That's why most of the leaders you see there are members of the summit. I don't need to mention their names, so they're there. Well, the Honorable Raila took the opportunity to brief the summit because we have not met for quite a while since the happenings around the Kenya Kwanza administration, and they are having poached members of our coalition without consultation. Actually, what has come out clearly was from that briefing was these members, the 4 of them at the time, were very keen to join Ruto's administration without even a properly negotiated coalition agreement. Ni kama mtu ako na hamu kuolewa. So they jumped in and we got that briefing. But we also, I remember telling my brother Raila that you have been snookered. Those are the words I used. That this thing about national conversation or convention will not happen because Ruto has got what he wanted and what he calls government of national unity. And there is no government of national unity because there cannot be. Even if for a moment you are to assume amechukua watu wa ODM. But ODM plus Kenya Kwanza is not national unity. And so the rest of us are very clear that William Ruto snookered Raila Odinga and so Raila was himself very unhappy. He was actually telling him, calling him from or sending emissaries to tell him not to announce a cabinet his other half before he came back. But that is all now water under the bridge. Our position is simple. I gave a direction as leader of Wiper that our members will vote against those nominees, even if their votes will not overturn what Ruto wants. But we want to go on record that this was cannibalization of a viable Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition. However, we took the decision that Azimio will stand as Azimio. And if we are going to disband Azimio, we'll do it together, not separately. Because even our friend Peter Munya, who wanted to issue a statement that is also PNU is pulling out, we are able to agree if we are going to have to do away with Azimio La Umoja One Kenya, which is not our intention, we'll have to do it together. Take a decision. So I thought it's important. Another thing that came out of that consultation, for the avoidance of doubt, I remember I was attending a church service in Ruiru several weeks ago, and I met Honorable Gachagua for the first time. For the very first time. And then there were discussions that some people want to impeach him. I think that conversation is alive again. But as a summit of Azimio, including Raila Odinga himself, we have taken the position, if they bring an impeachment motion against a deputy president, what is his name? Regeji, we will Azimio oppose it. We don't want to be drawn into those unnecessary fights between a sinking administration. Tumekataa hiyo. We said we are not interested. So even today you see they are fighting over who is Secretary General, who is not Secretary General, those things. So let them fight their own battles within their coalition. They should not bring Azimio la Umoja into their cat fights.
You know, from that speech and from what you've noticed of late, Raila Amolo Odinga is supporting William Ruto. But he does not want to state it categorically because, one, when Gen Zs went to the streets, they had valid points. And they were highlighting the very, very things Raila has been talking about. And so Raila feels that like he's betraying the country because people are asking him, these are the things that you're championing for. Then at some point you left them in the, you let them in the course of your struggle. Then Gen Zs took over, and now you are abandoning them when you are supposed to join hands. And this is why Raila does not want to come out clearly and say that they have a deal with William Ruto. I mean, they are working together, and I can assure you that this deal is going to culminate into an alliance, another political formation that William Ruto is going to go with in 2027. Raila is not going to contest. And one thing that I really want to agree with Kalonzo on is that Raila has decided that he's not going to contest in 2027. He's looking for the AU seat, and that is it. He's going to support William Ruto. But I don't understand why, because when you look at Kalonzo wants to inherit that seat and become the Azimio de facto leader. But Raila seems to be in a position where he wants to be at the African Union Commission seat and at the same time remain the Azimio leader. I heard Wanga telling Kalonzo that you are plotting a coup against Raila, that Raila should relinquish that position at his convenience. And one was saying that maybe Raila is not sure about the AU seat, and that is why he does not want to relinquish this Azimio thing. But when you look at the way things have transpired of late, you will realize that Raila is no longer in Azimio, and Azimio is going on his deathbed. And Kalonzo is saying there that we are ready. The other thing that Kalonzo is asking that is very, very serious, Raila says that these people did not consult him. But on the same breath, he says, I released them to go. Now, juxtapose what Raila is telling us vis-a-vis when people like Jalang went to State House. It was so stormy that Raila and the group decided that they wanted to kick that group out because they went to State House without consulting Raila. Now, if that is the same scenario, they are saying that the top brass, the party officials, two deputy party leaders, chairman and the minority leader, consulted William Ruto without the green light from the party, then why can't he expel them? And that is why I'm telling you that Raila is speaking from both sides of the mouth. And while I repeat, joining the government is not bad if that is his wish, because Raila has got his democratic rights that should also be respected. But he should not make it look like, he should make it official. Number two, William Ruto is telling, Kalonzo Musyoka is telling Raila, if you are telling us that these people went on their own, then the vetting is coming. Let us reject them, because Kalonzo has already ordered the members of the Wiper to reject those names. Why? Because Raila is saying, I did not give them the green light, or rather, I allowed them to go after they consulted in their own capacity with William Samoei Ruto. And this is why I'm telling that there is a lot of fallacy. Raila joined the government and he should make it very clear. By the way, that joining of the government has been celebrated in very many quarters of the country for reasons that you all understand. Like for the first time, Luos are saying that they have a position that they have never held before. Raila should make it very clear. So Kalonzo is challenging him. why can't you also order your members to reject the names? Only then will we know that you are honest about this. So this time round, Raila is not honest with Kalonzo Musyoka, and Kalonzo knows this and is playing tough. Number three, they have already written, the resignation letters, and their names have the proposals to replace them have already been released by none other than Edwin Sifuna, who is the ODM Secretary General. How can you purport to be, because Raila was saying that he will give a way forward. At the same time, they are already proposing names to replace those who are going. It tells you that those people from the initial stage, they had the blessing of Raila Amolo Odinga, because we have been told that William Ruto approached Raila and told Raila, my government is collapsing courtesy of a sabotage from the deputy president, and Raila joined the government. So will Raila order his members to reject them in parliament? And why has he already proposed names to replace those who are going? I mean, let us be honest with each other. Kalonzo Musyoka is somehow proving to be tough, but will he hold to the end? Because Kalonzo seems to have realized that there is a vacuum. And Raila had said that in the fullness of time, he told us sometimes back that Kalonzo is a man they have been with over the years. He has supported Raila thrice, I think, under CORD, under NASA, and now under Azimio. And I think it is this time, many are arguing that he also betrayed Raila in 2007 when he joined Kibaki. Yes, but he has compensated that by supporting him thrice. So it is time for Kalonzo to carry the mantle. He should also try his best. And I think Kalonzo is right this time round, when he puts a fight, because he's compelling, he's telling Raila, you go for the AU seat, whether you get it or not, allow me to carry the mantle because you've already joined the government. And we should have an alternative, because William Ruto seems to be galvanizing, he's trying to galvanize a party for himself. And I have a feeling that even UDA will not go up to 2027, because there is a wing of the UDA, they are already wrangling among themselves, and Kalonzo says this is confusion. And when people like Raila come in, people like Mudavadi, there's going to be another formation. And that is why I would urge Kalonzo, let Azimio collapse. Let us go on with this push. And if it's possible, let Kalonzo decide, because he was saying that, kama mbaya, let Azimio collapse, let him find a new niche for himself and a coalition. And because William Ruto already has Mudavadi on his side, he's got Raila on his side, let them meet if they want to meet. But I know there are plans to woo Kalonzo to come. That's why I'm asking, will he hold to the end? One other question that someone is asking, do you think, like, the ODM still maintains that they're in Azimio, they still remain in opposition? Do you think they will criticize, for example, if Mbadi makes a mistake in his ministry? Do you think they have the audacity to ask questions, to criticize? I don't think so. And that's why let us agree on one thing. Raila has joined the government. Let Kalonzo move on. And I wish that Raila would just tell Kalonzo, I wish you well, carry on with Azimio. Because now Martha Karua is gone, and Azimio is just a shell. Kalonzo should look for like-minded individuals so that they move on. But there is a deal between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Samoei Ruto, and Kalonzo Musyoka, as he puts it, he is very right. And I think Kalonzo deserves a chance